Let's take a look at this problem. We got f of x is equal to negative 7x plus 1 and 3x plus 2. And this is if x is less than 3. And then this one is if x is greater than or equal to 3. First off, the domain. Notice it says when x is less than 3 and when x is greater than or equal to 3. And there's no fractions here, and there's no radicals with even indexes. Well, this exists everywhere. The only exceptions would be if you had a fraction with a variable denominator or you had a radical with an even index. So my domain is going to be negative infinity to positive infinity. So I got negative infinity, comma, positive infinity. Check answer. Now the range is not as easy. If we graph this, x is less than 3. Okay, well, if I plug in some values, plug 0 in. So I got negative 7x plus 1. If I plug in x equals 0, I'm going to get negative 7 times 0 plus 1. Negative 7 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So that means this point would be 0, 1. Now if I plug in x equals 1, I get negative 7 times 1 plus 1. Negative 7 times 1 is negative 7, plus 1 is negative 6. So we got 1, negative 6. So 1, negative 6. And this is when x is less than 3. Which means that if I draw this down, since it's less than, this will be an open dot here. Okay. Now we're going to come back to we'll come back to this. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and do it. If I plug in 3, I'm trying to figure out what this point would be, even though it doesn't exist. If I put 3 in, I got negative 7 times 3 plus 1. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21, plus 1 is negative 20. And I really got that off, but this would be 3, negative 20. Now other graph, the 3x plus 2. That's when x is greater than or equal to 3. So if I plug in, for example, x is equal to 0, I'm going to have 3 times 0 plus 2, which gives us 2. That's if I don't want to do 0, because it's actually x is greater than or equal to 3. What am I thinking? Okay, let me plug in 3. So if I got 3 times 3 plus 2, that gives me 9 plus 2 is 11, so that gives me 311. I don't know where 11 is, but let's say it's right there. Now if I plug in x equals 4, I'm going to have 3 times 4 plus 2, that's 14. So I got 414, which should be up here somewhere. So this part of the graph is going off like this. Okay. This is going up forever. This is going up forever. And which means that the graph exists everywhere here. Remember, your range is where your graph exists. The very lowest point of my graph is right here, which is negative 20 on my y-axis. And it's an open dot, which means it does not include it. So our range will be negative 20, comma, infinity. Now the parentheses is because it doesn't include it, it's the open dot. So negative 20, comma, infinity. And this is assuming I plugged my points in correctly. Let me double check myself before I try to check it. Okay, I put 3 in there. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21 plus 1 is, okay, looks right. And that's how you find domain and range.